Thank you, Matt. And it's great to look out and see so many familiar faces here in the heart of our beautiful community. I have the good pleasure of representing, I'll call it the other half of Lower Stoney Creek, including the Fruitland and Winona community. And I think it's an important distinction to build upon some of the comments that were already made about what we are talking about and, more importantly, what we're not talking about. And first off, I think a little bit of history is important. I'm glad to see some former members of Stoney Creek City Council with us. I have the good fortune of having one in my family. My mother had the pleasure of serving with these two gentlemen in the 90s on Stoney Creek Council. And as a lifer here in the creek, there's an important story about how we got to this stage. This parking lot didn't happen by accident. There was intentional effort put into this starting in the late 1980s in accumulating properties and putting together and amassing the facility that you see here before, but it was done with intentionality, and it was done to ensure that there was a vibrant base for our stores and our shops out on King Street. It was done to ensure that the medical center had lots of space to be able to support what's happening there. It was done to ensure we're next door to one of the places of worship here in downtown Stoney Creek. There's several. They all rely on this key piece of infrastructure for their survival, not to mention the Legion, not to mention all of the events that take place in downtown Stoney Creek at every season. It was done for a reason. And it actually is ironic that the culmination of the creation of this parking lot actually happened after amalgamation. The final puzzle pieces were put together by the city of Hamilton to complete the vision that these gentlemen and others had in creating this space for the sustainability of the entire community. And that story doesn't get told. So I want to make sure that that's out there, that this was always intended for the here and now, but also for the future viability of what is to come in downtown Stoney Creek. I think that that's really important. I think it's been said by all of my colleagues here that there is no opposition to affordable housing. This is not a story, and unfortunately it's been misrepresented as people versus parking. It's not. It never has been. There are lots of options throughout our Lower Stoney Creek and Upper Stoney Creek community. Councillor Francis, myself, Councillor Clark from Ward 9, we came out very strong that we would commit to working in a made-in-Stoney Creek approach to try to look at options to ensure that everybody in our community has a place to go and call home. I've worked on sites in Ward 10. Councillor Francis has worked in sites in Ward 5. Councillor Clark has worked on sites in Ward 9. Those were all part of different conversations, and unfortunately they were set aside, and that's disappointing. It's not to say that they're not happening, they still are, but they would have posed a better alternative to what we are seeing here, what we will see in the future if this proceeds. And I can't stress enough that we are prepared to work together as a community to get a better result for everyone. This just isn't it. And so thank you to Councillor Francis. Thank you to all of you for being here today. And I know that I can say very proudly and firmly that we stand with Stoney Creek. Thank you.